Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Michael Knowles did a response to a TikTok video by an abortion rights supporter where she made a lot of arguments that Mr. Knowles responded to beautifully. But there's one aspect that always gets overlooked, and that's when you're talking about the bodily integrity, bodily autonomy argument, okay? If there is an overarching right to bodily integrity, bodily autonomy, and if you believe that mothers and their unborn children are by nature enemies, okay, which is what the pro-choice movement's assuming, that by that very nature of the mother-child relationship is in its nature, at its core, one of antagonism, we still have to look at the factors, because anytime two people's rights are in conflict, there's some factors you look at. One, you look at who initiated this conflict. And it's obviously the mother who initiated this conflict because she is the one that engaged in the act that put the baby in her uterus. And if she was raped, it was a third party that did that. But the baby took no action to initiate that situation. Therefore, that baby holds no responsibility. Then we look at the degree of loss. The temporary loss, partial loss. So for 9 months, you're a bit bulky. You might have some morning sickness. Yeah, pregnancy can be a real, hindrance. It's, I've had 2 kids. It's not necessarily a walk in the park, but it's temporary and it's only partial. You can do pretty much everything that you were doing before you got pregnant while you're pregnant. There are very few actual restrictions. Whereas what they're trying to take from the baby is total and permanent. So what this bodily autonomy argument says is that the person who created the conflict, in order to avoid a partial, temporary imposition on their bodily autonomy, has a right to totally, completely, irrevocably, and totally, permanently, absolutely strip the other entity of all bodily rights. Full stop, period, none, ever. When that person is not the party that started the conflict. So bodily rights saws off the limb it's sitting on. If human beings have bodily rights, that baby's right, because it did not initiate the situation, that baby has the most to lose, and that baby's loss is permanent, certainly trumps the autonomy of the person who created the situation. Is only a temporary infringement, and it's only a partial infringement. Full stop.